everyone, today we're going to be making the witch crafts. The crafts today are going to include the spell books that you see in this vignette. We're going to be making the stack of the 3 smaller spell books, those are there on the right, as well as the center, which is the large personalized spell book with the skeleton hand holders. Now with this centerpiece that I have put together, I have also incorporated the skull candelabras, those were in a previous video, as well as the spider votives that were in a previous video as well. So if you want to see how to make those, just go through the history. Also, the large list of supplies for all of these crafts can be found in the Halloween Crafts 2017 video, which will show you everything that you need for all of the projects we're going to be doing for Halloween this year. If you're interested in the witch in the back, she's available usually at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and Marshalls. They have this same type of witch each year. They have different patterns of clothing. Those are $29.99 normally, if you're interested in adding that as well. So the first project that we're going to do are the little stacks of spell books. I'm sure you've seen them most places, as so far they've been at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Target, pretty much anyone that has Halloween supplies. Now, the way that we're going to make ours is we're going to first start with 3 small books. This will make them to the same scale as what you see in the stores. And in my 3 small books, I purchased at Goodwill. They were $1.99 each. However, if you take a look at the different tag sales they usually will have some type of tag at Goodwill that's 50% off that day. So if you can do that like I did, these are normally $1.99, but I ended up getting them for only 99 cents each, which is only a $3 investment. The other thing that's great about these books, when you buy them used, is they're already going to have the aged pages to them. So to me it helps it make it a little bit more authentic than the crisp white. You're also going to need just a package of construction paper. We won't need a lot for this project. So this pack I picked up at the Dollar Tree. Since it's only $1 and it has a few pages of black and purple, which are predominantly the colors I use, this will be sufficient. You can also purchase construction paper, of course, most anywhere else, but it's usually $3 to $6. So if you can find this at your local Dollar Tree, that'll help you keep your costs down. We'll also need a paint pen. With the paint pen, I chose silver because, again, my colors are predominantly black and silver that I use with my witches. Of course, you can use just a Sharpie marker, crayons, any marker of any color, whatever works best for you. Again, you want to make things that fit with your decor and work best with your themes. Last things you'll need are going to be a pair of scissors and some Scotch tape. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the book. I'm going to start with just this one, and you're going to pick the color of construction paper you would like your exterior to be. For mine, again, I'm going to stick with black. Now with this black, you're also going to see if you stick with this size of book, it's a perfect size for just a regular size of construction paper, or regular piece I should say. Now you're going to line up your book so that the paper is going to completely cover it, and then you're going to take and press down on the top of the bind of the book just to make a guideline. And you're going to remove the book and line up your construction paper so that it's straight. Fold it so that it fits nice and flush on the book. All right, just put your book back. Repeat the same process on the back. Just make a guideline. Again, line it up to the edges to make sure everything is straight. Put your book back in, and as you can see, that wraps the side, and you have a nice crisp edge. The final cut or bend that you're going to make is you're going to make a sight line where the top of the book is. And you'll repeat the process again, lining up your edge to make sure everything is straight. Now, once you have this top edge, You're going to take your scissors and just cut off the excess. And we're going to just fit the book in there again just to make sure that everything is lining up. So this is what it will look like so far. Now, before you adhere this and attach it to the inside of the book to keep everything level, go ahead and write out what you would like on the binding part here. So in between those two lines, write whatever you'd like. Some ideas they have are things like curses, potions, just anything similar. And one thing you can do that's nice too is if you are not wanting to go straight to using your permanent markers, your Sharpies, or your paint pens, you can always write something out first in either like pencil, or the other thing I was doing earlier is I took a pen, I left the cap on, and just left a little indentation. Kind of pressed. Hope you guys can see there. I'm going to try to move it in the light. But I'll use that indentation for a guide. Just want to make sure the letters are pretty much where I'm going to want them to be. Then you're going to take your pen or marker, follow those. And then that's an example. So I'm going to do mine as a potion book. Of course, if you don't like this looking, so homemade, you can also use your computer, and you're just going to, of course, play with your fonts and play with the sizes of things until you get exactly what you want. You can print something, just off the computer and wrap it in your book too. I just like doing the handwritten. To me, it's just more crafty, and at the holidays, I like things to look a little more homemade. And then, of course, you're going to fold this to the inside of your book. Fold your edge over. And again, just bring that where it's a nice crisp edge by pressing. And I'm sure some of you remember this from having to cover your school books years ago. You're just going to put the Scotch tape on the inside to hold that down. Of course, you're going to repeat the same process on the back. Let's have a look on the inside. And there we have our first little book. So, of course, with these, the fronts right now are plain. If you want to draw, like for this one with potions, I'm sure I'll end up drawing some more little potion bottles on the front, or maybe different names of potions, things like that. You're going to repeat the same steps on all three books. Now, another good thing about this too is, if you notice, like earlier I was kind of playing around and I didn't give myself enough room, but the great thing is with the construction paper you can just turn it around and reuse it, because life happens, not everything's perfect. So this one I have pre-made. I'm just going to wrap this around the second book. Okay, so that's the other one. So I hope everyone enjoyed the project today. It's something that is a quick, easy project, and again, what were our materials? Maybe $4 to make this, and they're not ceramics, you don't have to worry about them breaking. You can customize them, they can be personalized. You can, put your name on the front, like I could have put maybe Crystal Spellbook or something similar. Or another thing that I did is I put 101 ways to use frog's breath for one of my books, because I was thinking, like, yeah, it's nice that they have like the potions and curses and spells and all that like they do on the ceramic ones. But we have a lot of carte blanche with making them the way we want to be and suiting like more of your personality. So stay tuned, you guys. Next is going to be the very large spell book with the skeleton hands, so we can add that to our witch decor as well. We are going to do the large scale customized spell books, and the first thing that you're going to need for that is, of course, a book to use. So this book, I actually purchased at Goodwill, of course. Price was $3.99. And the reason I bought this is, one, as you can tell compared to me, this is a very large size book, but it is black. Being that it's black and it also has no designs on the front or the back, there's not a lot that I'm going to have to cover up, except for the indentations on the binding that are that have the title. But that's going to be just a quick shot of paint to fix that up. A second item that you're going to need for this project going to be something to write your spells in the book with. So I have used a few different size Sharpies and a black pen for small details. You can of course use things like colored pencils, different colored markers, paint pens, whatever you'd like. Again, make it your own. Next you'll need some black paint. The only reason that I need this is because my book is black, and again on the binding has that gold lettering. I'll need something to cover that up with. So if your book is black too, you may need this to fill in any indentations, or if it's just all black and you're just that lucky, then you don't have to of course worry about that. So this is something that's optional. It may not be a required supply. The other thing that you're going to need is glue. Now this clear glue we found at Michael's, and you can use, I'm sure, white glue, but the clear just dries a little more transparent. And this was school glue for the brand, and it's washable, so that is nice because things can happen, and if you get any access, it's gonna be easy to remove, and it was cheaper than any of the like name brand or Elmer's glue was. You're then going to need a small can of the Rust-Oleum paint. This is going to be located at your Home Depots or your Lowe's. It is not going to be in the paint aisle where you normally would find your quarts and your pints of paint. It's going to be near the spray paint. It's in small cans. There's usually about 5 different colors, so look around where the spray paint is, usually mid-aisle. And cost-wise too, this is only about $3. Next thing you're going to need are some brushes. You'll need this to make sure that we get our pages painted and our books covered, to make sure that they are all uniform. And this was the brushes again that, if you watch the supply video, I purchased at Michael's. You can use a lot of different brushes, but this pack in particular was only $5, and it had the foamies that we're going to also use for future projects. So this is a good one for doing the several projects. It has pretty much everything that you're going to need. And then also optional are going to be skeleton hands. Again, if you watch that video, these skeleton hands, you can find ones that are similar at Michael's. They're going to be, I think they were $7.99 or $8.99 a hand. These I found at 99-cent store. They are also made out of a resin or almost ceramic type material as well. Only 99 cents a hand, so you can save there. Okay, for this first step in the project, you're going to take your book and you are going to try to cover anything that's on it. If you have any indentations, like I do, anything that draws attention, you're going to cover that up. So in this case, I'm going to take my black paint and dab a little bit onto anything that you have around. For me, I'm just using that construction paper that we have already purchased for the other project, because I am probably not going to use yellow kind of construction paper anytime soon. So I'm just going to put a small dot on there. And I'm going to take my little foamy from my pack, dip some paint, and just use back and forth, covering in all of those indentations with the gold writing. Now I am going to go ahead and cover the whole binding of the book, just so that it's more uniform, because this black, of course, is going to be a different black than what the original printers used. So that's to start. That, of course, is going to take a few coats. So we're just going to keep applying those and waiting for dry time. Now, once everything has dried, as you can see here, it's all black. You're going to then find the center page of your book. For me, my center page was this page, which has a lot of color. So I'm actually going to go one more page over and go to something that just has black and white, so that it's easier for me to cover this up with the white paint. Now, once you found that page, shake your little can of your paint. Now you're going to paint your page white. I use a foamy. You can use a brush as well, but I just prefer the foamies. To me, they have better coverage, as you can see here. So you're just gonna run back and forth, just making sure to cover all of the text on the page. We want a nice white surface so we can add our own text, of course. So as you can see, this is what it looks like after one coat. And to cover all your print fully, you're going to need to do 2 to 3 coats as necessary, allowing about 5 minutes dry time in between. Okay, so once everything is completed and all of your pages are covered in white, you can then start to put in your font. Now, you can get some ideas online by Googling different images of spell books, or you can make up your own recipes. One of the main themes that they have is there are a lot of like added drawings and doodles on the pages as well, so you don't have to worry about filling up the whole page with text. Now, the easiest way to do this, which is the way I would do it if my printer wasn't broken, is you can print out something, get the font the way that you want it, and then you can lay it down on your page, you know, cut the letters out and make your own stencil to where this can be nice and crisp and everything will be exactly as you wanted and exactly as you planned. Now, if you do not have a printer, just like I'm not going to for this, you can take the pages and just lay out where you would like all your wording at, and take a ruler, or in my case another piece of paper, just to ensure that you have straight lines on the page. So you're going to lay down your paper, make sure it's straight by lining it up with the center of the book. Then you're going to take a pencil and just lightly draw faint lines, just so you have some guide marks as to where you're going to be putting all of your wording at. Remember to leave some room for different sketches and different notations if you want it to look as authentic as possible. Once all of your lines are in place to exactly where you'd like them to be, you're then going to lay out how you would like your spells or your potions. So at the top, for mine, I'm going to put the title of the spell, and then I'm going to put all the ingredients listed below and add in the different doodles, etchings, and just witchcraft looking items throughout the pages. Now, this is where it gets a little bit difficult. If you're really not sure what to write, that's fine. What you can do is, if you'd like, you can use one of the items from Pier 1. I have that video posted as well when I went there the other day, and because this was going to be an upcoming project, I made sure to do a nice zoom in on that picture. So if you want to just use that as your inspiration, that's fine. I'm sure you can also go to Google, just check some different images, or you know, whatever fits too with your potions and the bottles that you've made. So for example, if you've already made something like ladyfingers where you've put in the little body parts into jars, then you can incorporate that. Maybe put like 2 ladies' fingers, or if you've already put something like bat's breath, you know, add bat's breath. That way it'll look like you have all of your ingredients for your spell already there, so it helps to blend everything and make all of your decor more cohesive. Okay, once everything is done for your wording, it should look something similar to this. Once this part is done with all of your pencil and you have everything laid out the way that you want, you'll now take either your permanent marker, color pencils, etc., go ahead and make all of your hard lines and finish up your design. And then just with an eraser remove all of the guidelines that you put when you initially set up your project. Once all of your sight lines are removed, it should look something similar to this. And this is white. This is what most of the large spell books look like. If you would like a more aged look, you can do that as well by tea staining your pages. The next step is going to be to take your clear glue, and we're going to just add the glue using a brush to the sides of the pages. That way it's going to keep the pages stuck together so that when you're displaying your book, it won't flip forward and show any of the text. Because of course we want it to be as authentic as can be, so you don't want it to show any of the text from the real book that we're reusing. Once you've glued all of the sides of the pages together, let that sit anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, just making sure that everything is secure and your pages are nice and flat. Now that everything is glued together and the pages are secured, you can use anything that you have around to prop the book up. You can use like a picture frame, you can use an easel, whatever you have handy. I have an easel I bought from Dollar Tree for another project. So I'm going to display mine with that. You're then going to take the skeleton hands, these here, and you're going to place them on each side of the book so it looks like the skeleton hands are assisting in holding it up. And you'll just position those any way that you like. If you want them up higher, you can do that too. You can secure them to the back of the book with just a little bit of hot glue. Mine I like just here at the bottom, like that. Alright everyone, that wraps up the witchcrafts for the week. I hope everything turned out well for you, and I would love to see in the comments what you guys did, since there are so many different variations with this project. Next week we're going to be doing the skull crafts. Again, you can customize them to whatever suits your decor best, but that is going to be the project that will require the canvases, also some mirror. So we will be doing those. Again, please comment if you have any questions about any projects that you've seen today or any in the past. I will always be here to help and answer any questions or comments that come up. I would also love to see some pictures of your finished projects, as everything that we do can definitely vary, and I'd love to see different people's styles and different takes on the projects. Also, make sure to subscribe so you can get the latest and greatest as soon as I put out the new videos. Again, it will be at least one video a week, possibly more, just depending on what comes up. I hope you enjoyed today's project. So this is what it could look. This is just one way that you can display everything. So what I've done is put the large personalized spellbook in the center with the skull hand holders. I've got my 3 stacked spellbooks on the right with a candle, and then I've incorporated also on each side the skull candelabras and the spider votives. Those were things that we made in the previous videos, so if you'd like to add those as well, you can check those out too. Again, next week is going to be our skeleton projects, which are going to include the mirrors and the canvases, and I hope you guys stay tuned and look forward to sharing that with you as well.